A new report from Unlock MLS and the Austin Board of Realtors shifts the housing affordability conversation away from just buying a home and toward whether current homeowners can afford to stay in one. The new Central Texas Homeowner Affordability Index looks at how rising property taxes, insurance utilities, and mortgage costs are impacting families across our region. Taylor Smith is here with us. He's the Director of Government Affairs for ABOR and Unlock MLS. He's here to break down what the data shows. Good to see you, Taylor.
Thanks for having us.
First question here. We've talked for years about affordability for first-time home buyers. So why is now the focus shifting to people who are already in a home?
Well, this has been, I think, an underlying conversation that the community's been having for a long time. But this is a new tool that we've produced to help better understand what those rising housing costs are actually having the impact on Central Texas families, particularly during this budget season that cities across Central Texas are having right now.
Walk us through the index in simple terms. What does it mean and what does it measure?
So it measures the financial strain placed on households by increasing your housing costs by $100 each month. So a perfect example, if you look at the city of Austin's budget, they propose a $6.6 million budget. That has about a $20 increase monthly on the typical ratepayer or property tax owner. But if you take that across the annual, that's a $350 increase. And so $100 times 12, that's $1,200 a month. That really only gives you $850 left for the year to play with before you're pushed into that 30% cost burden territory. And that could be insurance alone.
Let's talk a little bit about these $100 increments, as you say. It seems small, but when you add it up, it can be quite the burden. What is driving up these costs? What are the factors that are increasing the costs here?
The biggest one right now that we've seen is homeowners insurance. So in Texas, since 2019, insurance rates have increased 60%, and that's twice the national average. And then also utility bills. You know, utility providers across Central Texas right now are midstream in rate adjustments, and those small increases still have a big impact on that monthly family budget.
You talk a little bit about in this report about families being equity rich but cash poor. Tell us what that means and why that puts such a strain on families who are already in their homes.
Yeah, you know, equity rich, cash poor means you have a lot of equity in your home, but that paper wealth doesn't help you pay your utility bill or your property taxes. And so what we found is 44.6% of mortgaged homes across the country are considered equity rich, cash poor.
The report also argues that these rising costs aren't just a housing issue. What else can this affect besides, you know, owning your home, paying the mortgage on your home? There are other factors that these numbers can affect.
Yes, of course. Deferred maintenance is probably the biggest one that we actually don't capture in the report, just because that really depends on the home, and it's hard to average across Central Texas. But 60% of homeowners actually have deferred maintenance, and the number one reason is cost. They can't afford to fix that up.
And that could affect the equity down the road.
It does.
How are these costs, the insurance, interest rates, how are they controlled locally? Is there any way to measure that, rein that in?
On insurance rates, unfortunately, no. But property taxes, you know, your local leaders have a big say in that. And that's why it's important to not only take a look at this report, but get involved in that process as your community is setting your tax rate or even having bond conversations.
And Taylor, for our viewers who are homeowners right now and feeling a little bit squeezed, what can they really take away from this report that they can make a difference tangibly as they move forward?
Yeah, tangibly, get involved with your local leaders and your city budget process, but then also look at ways that you can reduce it yourselves. You know, right now, weatherization projects, you know, if you can afford that to help reduce some of those utility bills, and then keep in mind for next season the property protest process, because that's a great way to help lower that property tax bill.
Interesting perspective for not just first-time home buyers, but for those that are going through the process and have it underway already. Taylor, we appreciate your expertise in this.
Of course, thanks for having us.
Thanks for stopping by.